This journey for me of speaking out about mental health and mental illness started for me in about 2017. I was sitting at home one day, not quite sure what drove me to do this, but I decided to go online and I made a post on Facebook about how while everything seems good in my life and we all put our best foot forward, I was struggling. I was having a tough time and I was going through a lot with my mental health and I just wasn't being honest about it. There's a stigma behind all of mental illness, but especially depression. It's thought of as a character flaw or a weakness. The reaction was overwhelming. I was flooded with DMs from people that were opening up and admitting to the struggles that they were going through, and they felt safe talking about it with somebody that they knew understood. When I was 5 years old, my teachers in kindergarten had recognized some things that were going on at home and felt alarmed.
My father loved three things in life: drugs, alcohol, and violence, and he was really good at all three of them.
I started in therapy, and I did therapy from kindergarten to 6th grade, and it was embarrassing because I was the kid that was pulled out of class once a week to go talk to a counselor, and of course all the kids were asking me what I was doing or why I was leaving class, and it wasn't something that I was willing to talk about.
I don't know that men realize a lot of times that they are having mental health struggles. What do you say to men about mental health and the stigma surrounding it?
We're taught at a really young age that we're not supposed to be emotional, that we're supposed to toughen up and big boys don't cry. We're not allowed to have those emotions and we're never taught how to deal with them or work through them.
As men, we're allowed two acceptable emotions: happiness and anger. The fact that anger is an acceptable emotion is insane. But we're not allowed to be sad. We're not allowed to cry. We're not allowed to talk about our feelings. We are told to shove that down.
We're the last to go and seek help. In fact, men are 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women are. Every year there are 12 billion work days lost to mental health. That's 50 million work years every year. I made the mistake when I was around 19 years old, when I was going through a really difficult time, of thinking that I could beat this mentally, that I could outthink my depression. And all that did was cause me to stumble and created a lot of chaos for me in my 20s. One of the hardest things that I ever had to do in my life was to go to my wife, the person I love the most, and say, life is too hard for me. So many of us eat diets in order to fight off diabetes or heart disease, but we tend to not do anything about our mental health until there's a crisis. Unfortunately, the gap between when people first notice the signs of mental illness and when they eventually go and get help is 11 years. That is a huge chunk of our lives that we're wasting trying to fix things that we don't know how to fix. It's okay to struggle with our mental health. It's okay to be open and ask for help. It's important for people to know that they're not suffering alone. And with the proper tools, there is hope for all of us.